And now we're going into previews, folks. Of course, it's brought to you by our good friends over at BetUS. And I mean, listen, we might as well go on ahead and just pull up the odds right here. All right, because we have the New England Patriots and the New York Jets at -6 favorites in MetLife.
They disrespecting y'all, Kobe.
And I'll tell you what, listen, I have been cashing out, my friends. Taking the Patriots points for the past couple of weeks.
Absolutely. Plus,
I have been cashing on it.
BetUS knows that the Jets fans are going to take that. So, like, it's just it's a money grab, right? Like, they're smart.
Why would Jets fans take this if the odds are not in our favor? That makes no sense. Do you know how betting works, Colby? No, Colby, that's not how it works.
Going to take the 6 points because y'all think
no, Colby, that's not how betting works. The odds are not in our favor.
We're gonna
it's in your favor. That's how it works. The odds are in your favor.
Are you guys not favored to win this game? Wait, hold up. Go back.
Yeah, you have to spend a lot of money to make money. That's my point. It's -265 for the Jets to win. That means the odds are not good. We got to put $100 to win nothing. Pennies. You got to put $265 down to win $100.
Here's what I'm saying. They think that y'all are going to win by multiple, or not by multiple points, but rather by 6 points or more, though, right? That's what they're saying here. But here's what I'm saying. Spread. Week one, the Patriots beat the Bengals by 6 points. Week 2, they lost in overtime by a field goal. And the Seattle Seahawks are obviously a better team right now, at least right now, than the Jets are. So either way, if Patriots win or lose this game, it's going to come down to a field goal.
Man, Kobe, you better put that plus 223 on that money line.
You already know. That's free money.
You better get that plus 20. Forget them points, Dan. That plus 223.
Colby, notice why TD's on the Patriots. Just realize why.
TD's on the Patriots because he don't like
the Jets. This is a good opportunity to make money. Plus 223 on the money line. Come on,
that's all I'm gonna say.
Come on, Kobe. Kobe, you already know what time it is. Kobe, man, poke your chest out. Y'all winning.
Real talk, though, at plus 223.
You hoping, TD.
Whether you think the Patriots are going to win this game or not, it's just smart to put it down on the 223 because this is going to be a close game, Ricky. And we're going to get into our previews here in a second. And I think I believe in you enough to think that, hey, whether you have the Patriots winning or losing or the Jets winning or losing, you know that this isn't going to be a blowout and it's going to be a close game.
So Kobe, I'm not going to lie to you, man. The safest bet is always the point spread.
But if it's going to be a close
even if you lose,
put down $5.
If you lose by 6 or less than 6 points, you still cash out, baby.
This the Jets, Dan. That plus 223.
Oh my God. Well, folks, I do want to remind you that BetUS is currently matching 150% of your first deposit, guys. This is a crazy promo, and they're matching 125% for your following 2 deposits after that, all right? Simply just go to their website, betus.com.pa. Take advantage of this, guys. Supporting our sponsors is exactly like you're supporting us, baby. Shout out to BetUS once again. Use code YouTube150 to take advantage of this, and always screenshot your bet slips as well. All right. In fact, out of every Dolphins fan that had the audacity to bet against the Buffalo Bills, please screenshot those bet slips for me and send them to me on X. I would really like to see those. Nothing would make me happier. Put a smile on my face.
Said TD, put your money up. It's already done.
It's already done.
Plus 223.
I think it's a great segue into the preview. And since we have a divisional matchup, we might as well start off with this one. Richie, take it over, Richie. Talk to us. Expectations, preview, prediction for the New England Patriots and the New York Jets.
You got it, man. We got a big game on Thursday night. And listen, I'll start off with this. The current state of the New York Jets is exactly what my realistic hope was at this point of the season, being 1-1 through the first 2 weeks of the season. You know, I was predicting the Jets to upset the 49ers, but I knew that was going to be a really tough ask. But I damn for sure knew that the Jets had to beat the Titans, and they did. They beat them. And now we're going into our home opener. And that's something that people need to realize about this Jets team. We have not been home yet. We have not been at home yet. This football team plays different at home. And last year proves it. More specifically, our defense. So I'm expecting this defense to get right in this game. Now, what I mean by that is they're not going to shut down the run. We all know that. But what I want this defense to do is one thing, is protect that end zone. Allow the Patriots, if they want to, run down the field, pick up their yards, milk the clock. That's what they're going to do. Stevenson is a big ass to tackle, okay? Gibson, they have a legit 1-2 punch. But what they don't have is a wide receiver threat. They do not have a pass attack. So I'm looking at this Patriots offensive line, especially with the injuries that they're suffering, them ranking at the bottom of the NFL. The New York Jets have injuries on our defensive line, so it's a bad offensive line going up against a injured defensive line with the New York Jets. So this has to be the get-right game for this defense. And you saw what the Jets did last year, right, as a defense on the road, all right? At home. I'm just noticing my camera's like dark right now. I don't know what happened. I got to fix that. But I'm in a darkness retreat all of a sudden. So I think that this defense needs to figure out a way to feed off of the crowd in this matchup. Because last year, all the quarterbacks that we were able to neutralize that were considered elite, Patrick Mahomes, CJ Stroud, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, he was 9-0 heading into that game. This Jets defense made all 4 of those quarterbacks look trash. And we all know those 4 quarterbacks are not trash. The thing that was in common with those 4 games is it was at MetLife Stadium. This defense plays different at home. We're on the road to start off the season. It's no excuse. I'm not saying like, oh, this Jets defense they don't have to play good on the road. That's not what I'm saying. What I am expecting is that this fan base, this stadium tomorrow night, I don't think you realize how insane it's going to be. It is going to be loud. And TD can defend me on that. Dan Mitchell can defend me on that. Anybody that was out the event last year can realize that this crowd with Aaron Rodgers as our quarterback, with any type of hope for a real season, there's nothing like the city of New York. And yeah, we're in New Jersey, but it's a bunch of New Yorkers filling out that stadium, all right, with some Jersey people as well. Shout out to the Jersey Jets fans. That is in our favor, and I'm looking at the defense to feed off of that crowd and protect the end zone, all right? Limit the end zone. Just protect that goal line, man. Force them to kick field goals all night long and protect the end zone at all costs. Now, when it comes to our offense, I think this potentially could be the best game for the New York Jets offensively through the air. The New England Patriots are phenomenal at stopping the run, and we have really good running backs, but they're not just running backs. They're weapons out of the backfield. I'm looking at Aaron Rodgers to throw that football. They let Geno Smith completely tear them apart, 300-plus yards. They had 2 wide receivers have over 100 yards, and Geno Smith did a great job. He was mobile in the pocket. He was able to withstand the pressure, right? The Seahawks offensive line is not as good as the Jets offensive line, so I'm expecting this Jets offensive line to give Aaron Rodgers enough time, and I think this has to be the game where we let it loose from a pass attack. Do not try to establish a run early because obviously this Jets offensive line and this Jets run game is not working from a schematic standpoint. Now, if we can run the football like it did with Breece Hall last year in the final game of the season where Breece had like 300 yards on the ground in that game, that's a different team. It's a different coaching staff. I'm not going to think that, oh, Breece Hall dominated the Patriots last year. It's going to be able to do the same thing on the ground. But what I do know is that Breece Hall, out of the receiving game, if you can get him the ball in space, he is one of the best in the league at making people miss and taking it the distance. We have Braylon Allen. I know that Christian Gonzalez is a dynamic corner. He's going to be shadowing Garrett Wilson, and I'm assuming they're going to be shadowing him with Duggar and try to double-team Garrett Wilson and take him out of the game. So I'm looking at you, Mike Williams. You know, you've been on a pitch count early on in the season. You have not been able to really get into a rhythm. You made a clutch play in the 4th quarter on 2nd and 16 against the Titans. Can we see a little bit more of you? Allen Lazard, as much as all Jets fans hate him, he has the best chemistry with Aaron Rodgers on this football team. So I'm expecting Allen Lazard, Mike Williams, the guys around Garrett Wilson to kind of level up their game because we cannot rely on Garrett Wilson to just light up the Patriots because it's going to be a tall task. DK Metcalf did it. JSN did it. Why not Garrett Wilson and Mike Williams and our guys? So I think this is the game where Aaron Rodgers can have a game where it's like 200-plus yards, 2 touchdowns, protecting the football, and just be efficient and be effective, be, opportunistic, and be aggressive because this Jets offensive line can give Aaron Rodgers time in the pocket for the routes to develop down the football field. Let's take shots. He was this close to hitting Lazard on a deep, like 80-yard touchdown against the Titans. Just missed him by a hair. So keep forcing the ball down the field. And let's be honest with ourselves. I think that the Jets still have a pathway to win this football game, even with Stevenson running all over us. Because I'm looking at this offense for the New York Jets, and I'm expecting them to be able to push this ball. Because the one thing about the Patriots offensively is that Jacoby Brissett is no slouch. He's not a bad quarterback. He's a very solid veteran, and I'll give him, he's a good quarterback that could win you football games, but he's not able to push the ball down the field. He's not able to go all the way down and score a touchdown through the air. So the Jets got to be able to take care of business at home, feed off of the energy of the crowd, and just simply win this football game. I'm not predicting a blowout. I think it's going to be dirty. I think it's going to be grimy. I think it's going to come down to the wire. I think it's going to be one of those usual, Jets, Patriots, low scoring, just fighting back and forth, like turnover there, big play there. And I think it's going to come down to like maybe a field goal. Like I think that the Patriots will probably cover at +6, but I do have the Jets coming out on top in this game. But I really think that this is going to be the game where the Jets offensively click from a pass attack. I think this is the time where we can let it loose and take advantage of a defense that's not so good against the pass. I know that there's some scheme stuff that they want to figure out and play more man coverage to kind of neutralize the pass, but if Geno Smith can do it, I think Aaron Rodgers can do it. And as long as Aaron Rodgers is my quarterback, I got confidence going into any game because this guy is clutch and he can will a team back to victory and drop those dimes in the fourth quarter. So I got the Jets winning this game, and I think that Ramondre Stevenson's going to have a really good football game, but I still have the Jets coming out on top of the dub.
I love it. All right, Colby, talk to us.
Yeah, respect. I mean, look, I mean, you're at home. It's your team. When I think you look at how the Patriots have played, you look at how the Jets have played, this is going to be a close game. And I don't blame you for taking your own team. I think when it's a game that can really go either way, the way that I see it, if the Patriots lose, I'm not surprised. If the Patriots win, I'm not surprised, right? So, like, I really am in the middle, and this could go either way. When the record when the schedule originally came out, I had the Patriots winning this game. Then Richie kind of talked to me about it. He kind of reminded me about the home crowd. And I was like, okay, you know what? I think the Patriots will beat the Jets later on at home. Drake may probably starting around that time anyway. Jets playing at MetLife. I really hope you guys don't deal with injuries, but like with how bad that field is, I feel like it's bound that at some point injuries could potentially hurt you. So I was like, okay, I'm going to give the Jets this one. But then the Patriots have come out playing different and being a different team with a much different dynamic, and the team playing better than everybody expected that they were going to, both offensively and defensively. And the Jets not playing as good as I think a lot of people, at least myself, originally thought that they were going to. And again, as a Patriots fan, thinking about how close this game is going to be, I am going to take my team to win this game, but I'm going to save that for later. I kind of want to get into the injury report here, though. CJ Mosley didn't play all week. I don't think he's currently out, but, again, not playing all week, even if he does play, that's going to be definitely a factor to this game. Obviously, losing Jermaine Johnson is big, but even on the Patriots side of things, like we've lost some guys. Our starting tackle, Vidarian Lowe, not a great player, but we're so thin a tackle to where we need him. He's out for this game. Juwan Bentley, I mean, he's out for the season. We're going to be, we're losing him. I mean, now he went out early in that game against the Seahawks. So, we know how to adapt without him. It's not like he went down last second and we're trying to figure out and scramble how we're going to replace him. I think this game really is going to be who's coaching the best. It's not necessarily about the players. It's the execution. That's what this is going to be about on a short week. Who can stay the healthiest and who on a short week practice the best and have the overall best game plan. I think the MetLife effect is going to be real. I mean, I think if the Patriots lose this game, we're not going back and we're not talking about Aaron Rodgers and we're not talking about Robert Saleh. To me, if we go back and we say the Jets won this game and the Patriots lost, why? It is going to be because of Jets fans. It is going to be because it was booming in there and the Jets were able to take that energy, and it was too hard for the Patriots to kind of communicate and play they wanted to because of how loud it was. But here's what I'll say too. When the Jets have been able to beat the Patriots, they beat them at Gillette Stadium. And right now, we're still trying to see what Gerard Mayo is. Obviously, week 1 on the road, dominant win. Week 2 at home, close game, but you end up losing. Is Gerard Mayo going to be a coach that plays better on the road or a coach that plays better at home? And historically speaking, the Jets, when they do actually beat the Patriots, it usually is at home. You even look at the final week last season. That was at Gillette Stadium. For some reason, the Patriots do play well, for the most part, at MetLife Stadium. Here's the thing, too. The Patriots haven't turned the ball over. And that's going to be huge for the Jets in this game. If they're going to win this game, they need to force a turnover. And so far through 2 weeks, 2 very good defenses that are ranked higher than the Jets, significantly higher too, the Patriots haven't turned the ball over yet. So I think for the Jets, that is definitely one of the biggest things that they need to target here, is figuring out a way to get turnovers from the Patriots offense. What I want to see here for the Patriots defense is playing significantly more man. I'm not scared of Aaron Rodgers getting outside the pocket and picking up yards with his legs and diving and doing all these things that, made Geno Smith what Geno Smith was last week and why you kind of had to respect him from that regard and play a little bit more zone. Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback. Like I said, top 10 all time, and he's dynamic. But coming back from that season-ending injury and understanding where he is with his age at this point in his career. Like I said earlier, he's not the Aaron Rodgers where you want him moving around a lot. I think it's still obvious from his physical stature that he is still kind of coming back from that injury, which is very understandable. So because of that, I want to see the Patriots play more man-to-man here. That defense plays significantly better with man-to-man. The big reason why they gave up so much yards to DK Metcalf, JSN, and Geno Smith last week was because they were playing zone when they are a primarily man-to-man defense. And I really like how the Patriots are going to stack up against these wide receivers here for the Jets. As long as you take Garrett Wilson away, I'm really not necessarily scared on what they have now. Obviously, you got to take away those running backs too, which we'll get in here to a second. But just from a wide receiver standpoint, if you can take away Garrett Wilson, I'm not all that worried, especially compared to what you had to go up against week 2 with, JSN, Tyler Lockett, and DK Metcalf. That's not nearly the same thing here with that wide receiver core. Let's remember, too, that Christian Gonzalez, last time he played up against Garrett Wilson, 23 routes, 3 receptions, 18 total yards. He's played against him before for an entire game. I believe in his faith and being able to come back here and play up against him again. A couple more things I want to get into here. Defense. Patriots have the second best run defense in the NFL right now. The Jets actually rank 24th. Now, pass defense, Jets rank 17th. The Patriots do rank 25th. I think they have the bodies, they have the talent, they have the capability from coming back with the secondary. Now it's just about actually doing it. Here's what I'll say too. This might be, believe it or not, I'm not trying to pick a fight, but this might be the easiest matchup the Patriots have had so far, especially statistically speaking on offensively, defensively, and special teams where the Bengals and the Seahawks were. Now, you could definitely make an argument right now with the Jets and Bengals, and I would definitely respect that. But this is definitely at least an easier matchup than what they had last week against the Seahawks. The Patriots are also averaging 4.7 yards on the ground. The Jets are averaging 3.9. Now, one thing I do kind of worry about with the Jets is that they do have the 10th best run blocking offensive line and the 10th best pass blocking offensive line. That is the best that the Patriots have had to go up against from a defensive standpoint. So Keon White tied for the second most sacks in the NFL right now with 4 through 2 weeks. He's been dominated against the run, dominated against the pass. Patriots have a really good pass rush. This is definitely going to be a test for them. Can you do it up against a top 10 unit? That is going to be the question. Patriots, they actually have the 7th best and 7th highest ranked pass rush in the NFL. The Jets, on the other side, they have the 7th worst pass rush in the entire NFL. That is going to be, and it's not even close, the easiest pass rush that the Patriots have had to go up against through 3 weeks, which is surprising because of how good I thought that Jets defense was going to be. This is also the easiest coverage unit that the Patriots have had to go up against. We're talking about how the wide receivers haven't gotten going, and it's true they haven't. And if they're going to succeed and they're going to win games, they need to start getting these wide receivers acclimated. But the Seattle Seahawks, they have the number 1 ranked secondary. The Bengals have the 5th best ranked secondary. Again, the Jets, they have the 17th best ranked secondary in the National Football League. So this is a time for the Patriots wide receivers to really get something going, especially these rookies. Jermaine Johnson, who you guys lost last week, he's out for the season. He had a 16.7 pass rush win rate. That was second best on the Jets. That is going to be a massive, massive loss for them. Now, McDonald, he stepped it up. He looked good. Can he consistently do that as one of their top edge rushers now with the absence of Jermaine Johnson? I think that's the question. And Sauce, I don't think that Sauce is the same Sauce that we've seen, at times in 2023 and 2022. He hasn't been bad by any stretch of the imagination. He's not washed up. He's not washed up. I'm not going to go as far as TD and say he's washed up, but 7 targets last week, 5 receptions, 97 total yards. So again, I don't think that Sauce is bad. He's still a very good cornerback. You have to respect him. Still a top 10 cornerback in the league. Sometimes players deal with things. Sometimes players go through a stretch where they're going through something a little bit difficult and it gets to them and they have a couple of bad games. I don't think that's an indictment. I'm going to take the Sauce Gardner that I've seen for multiple seasons rather than the Sauce Gardner that I've seen for 2 games. But obviously maybe not as dynamic as he's been, at least right now. The other thing I'm going to say is the Titans have the 4th worst offense in the NFL. Get this. I don't know how, but the Patriots have the 13th worst offense in the NFL, which is surprising. We somehow are a higher ranked offense than the Tennessee Titans. Now, the Titans also have the 3rd worst passing offense in the NFL. The Patriots have the 15th. And again, I don't know how, but the Patriots have the 15th worst passing offense in the NFL. The Titans were able to find success against the Jets on the ground And they have the 13th best rush attack. The Patriots have the 7th best rush attack, according to PFF. But the Patriots are also tied for 4th most rushing yards per game. The Titans are ranked 13th in rushing yards per game. So I really believe in this dynamic for the Patriots running back core to really get it going. This is the easiest matchup that they've had in terms of the defense that they're going to have to go up against. I think Ramondre Stevenson poised for a massive game. Antonio Gibson poised for a massive game. And you just hope that passing offense can do a little bit more. This is going to be a close game. This is going to be a close game, but at the end of the day, I look at what the Patriots were able to do the last 2 weeks. They're going up against a much easier defense than they had to face the last 2 weeks and an easier offense. I look at that and I see that where the Patriots are dominant, where they've been succeeding, is where the Jets are lacking. So I'm going to take the Patriots in this game. Like I said, it really could go either way. I took this score prediction being on what I saw from the Patriots scores the last 2 weeks. Patriots offense scoring more and more points, by the way, over the last 2 weeks. Week 1, 16 points. Last week, 20 points. And that was with zero help from the defense or special teams. So I'm going to take the Patriots in this game. Close game, but 24-17 Pats.
24-17. Let me make sure. So that's let me ask y'all something. In sports books, can you sell points?
You mean alternate spread?
What do you mean sell points?
Yeah, alternate spread, I guess.
Yeah, like say you have the Patriots beating the Jets by 15, you can do an alternate spread minus 15 and it's better odds. That's what you're asking.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get on that with
It's called alternate spread.
Okay.
Come on, TD. You're sponsored by a sports book. You got to know your stuff.
It's called teas and points, baby. It's called
okay.
Hey man, look. Be as mad as you want at me for saying that. Call me delusional all you want, but here's what I'll say. I backed up my opinion with statistics.
Yeah, Kobe. I'm about to take y'all -5 in this game and make some real money. Yes, I am. I'm about to do it, man. I'm telling y'all, I already know what this matchup is going to be, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, the New England Patriots going to run the ball right down their throat. Y'all saw what happened in week 1 versus San Francisco. You saw what happened week 1 in San Francisco. And then you got linebackers hurt for the Jets and stuff. The New England Patriots about to control the clock, take the time of possession, run the ball down their throat. Richie talk about he looked for this to be the game where the passing game go off. Gonzalez and company about to shut down that passing game. And y'all going to be shocked. Y'all going to come on here next week saying, man, the Jets actually are really that bad. Watch what happened tomorrow night. I got the Patriots in this game. I'm going to actually go 24-17. I'm with you, Kobe. I'm with you. I'm actually with you. 24-17,
huh?
I didn't even, I thought about it, Kobe, and then when I said 24, and I was like, oh, just like Kobe, 17. They'll get 17. Watch, that's what's going to happen. That's right. Clip it. So you can replay it and be like Kobe and TD knew what they were talking about.
Okay, so my thoughts on this game.
Salty TD.
Listen, this is going to be a classic Patriots and Jets game. This is going to be like a 9-6 sort of game. All right. Wow. Thursday night. This is going to be very frustrating for anybody that does not root for the Pats and or the Jets. It's going to be a defensive standout. In my opinion, I really don't see both offenses really having a lot of success, a lot of respect for the Patriots secondary. And unfortunately with the Jets, like they just really can't have any sort of pass rush from what I've seen so far. Hopefully they get it together, but it's going to be low scoring. Love the matchup with Ramondre Stevenson. I just see both teams struggling tremendously in the red zone when it does come down into it. So give me the Jets 14 and the Patriots 6.
The Patriots 6. So they're going up against a significantly worse defense the last 2 weeks. They go from 16 points to 20, but they're going all the way down to 6 now. Hey,
so I think the Jets
Thursday night football.
Yeah. Listen, bro. Listen, like I would be more than happy if the Pats were able to come out on top. Trust me, because that just pads the lead for the Buffalo Bills. But I just see you guys struggling in the red zone. That's just about it.
That's fair.
I want to bring up a stat that just because I keep hearing that the Jets generating no pass rush. So I need to just clear it up. The Jets are generating pass rush. We're just not finishing. And Will Levis was phenomenal at escaping the pressure. The Jets were third in the league last week in pressures. 23 pressures they generated, which is third in the NFL. So they're getting to the quarterback. It's a matter of finishing. Jacoby Brissett, I don't think he's going to be able to escape the way Will Levis did. He's not as athletically gifted as Will Levis. Will Levis is actually, I was amazed. I was celebrating a sack, and then I see Will Levis somehow just pick up and run down the football field. I don't know how he did it.
Richie, let me just say something real quick. Last week, Jacoby Brissett was pressured on 50% of his dropbacks. The week prior was 44, and he was only sacked 2 times and then 3 times.
Well, my point is that the Jets are generating pressure, and everyone's saying that they're not getting to the quarterback. They are. They're just not finishing. That's my point.
I mean, it's not that you guys don't have a pass rush. It's just, according to PFF, you guys have the 7th worst overall pass rush in the NFL. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying what the stats are showing.
It's not to our standards. All I'm saying is we're getting to the quarterback. We're not finishing. That's what I'm saying.
You guys
are getting to the quarterback, and Brock Purdy got rid of the ball every single time the pass rush got there. And then last week, every time the pass rush got there, Will Levis somehow just escaped. There was like 3 times where we wrapped him up, and then he just like escapes and picks up the first down with his legs. I was like, God, this guy is so annoying. So I'm just saying that we're getting to the QB. It's just a matter of finishing when you get to the quarterback.
You guys should be better. Look, I'm going to say the Jets get 2 sacks on Jacoby Brissett in this game, and you guys should significantly rise in the overall standings for PFF because, again, you're going up against the worst offensive line in the league. Like, this is where you guys should have a good pass rush against the Patriots. You should get like a 40% pass rush win rate against us.
Man, Ramondre Stevenson going to have 200 yards.
Hey, man, if you have him in fantasy.
Also, I'm just going to throw one name out there, and then we can move on to the next game that you guys will see, and he will be flashing all night long for the New York Jets on defense. Jamien Sherwood. He's the man that stepped in replacement for C.J. Mosley when he went down. He was the guy that I saw in training camp, in every single training camp video I said, Jamien Sherwood is breaking out. He's the 3rd linebacker next to CJ and Quincy. He subbed in for CJ when he went down. He led the Jets in tackles, and he looks phenomenal. And he has been developing underneath Robert Saleh. He was drafted in the 6th round as a safety, turned into a linebacker. So he's going to be replacing CJ. He's fast. He looks great out there. We're excited to see what he does in his first start.
Richie, I'm going to put a different Jets player here that I think will step up. Kinlaw. Kinlaw has, I think, been very underrated for you guys. I think he's been dominant. He actually leads you guys with your best pass rush win rate overall defensively, not just for your defensive line, but everyone defensively. I think if anyone steps up, it's going to be Kinlaw.
Man, you want to know who's going to step up?
Double, triple teams. No. So Kinlaw's got one-on-ones to eat.
Richie, you know who's going to step up? Ramondre Stevenson, 200 rushing yards. That's what I know.
He's still going to win. You heard what I said. Stevenson's going to run all over us, but he's going to get his.
He's going to get his. I can almost.
I'm not saying we shut him down.
Like I said,
I ain't sitting here thinking we're going to shut him down. That's for sure.
So it's all going to be in red zone scoring efficiency at the end of the day. I actually look forward to watching this game because for the past couple of weeks, of course, outside of the Jets' first matchup against the San Francisco 49ers, I really haven't had a good opportunity of watching some Jets football from snap to snap, and same thing from the Patriots side of things. So I'm excited to take a look at these divisional rivals.
And you know who's still that dude on defense that's been playing ball? Quincy Williams. He's still playing at all-pro level, bro.
Quincy
Williams is out there. He is.
I agree.
So Richie, real quick. I want to get your opinion, Richie, just so I can kind of start predicting this game a little bit more in my mind as we get closer and closer. So CJ Mosley, what do you think happens? Doesn't practice all week? Dealing with an injury.
He's not playing.
He's not playing.
He has a toe injury. It's like a big toe. It's a swelling thing. It's a short week. I would, especially with the way Sherwood played, Jamien Sherwood is looking very good. And if I'm the Jets, I rest CJ. We do not need him in this game.
You'll have bigger
defense low key. The defense low key was better when CJ went on the sideline. The defense got better when Sherwood went in. They were playing faster, and that was in the second half. So I love CJ. I'm a big CJ Mosley fan. But I'd rather have a fully healthy Jamien Sherwood than CJ Mosley that has a limp in his big toe. So I think that he should rest. And I don't think it's that big of a deal because Sherwood really, and I'm not just saying this just to hype up a guy. If you watch my training camp videos back, which I'm assuming nobody will, I was like, Jamien Sherwood is the rising star of this defense. And he's the guy that we're expecting to replace CJ when he retires or moves on. And here he is. He's got his opportunity. So watch out for Sherwood and Quincy Williams as our 2 linebackers tomorrow.
Beautiful, beautiful. Moving on, folks. The Miami Dolphins are traveling out to Seattle with the Skylar Thompson-led offense. The Dolphins team desperate
Show the
pick
Patriots
up
how to
some
do it.
ground after the beatdown Buffalo placed on them in South Beach on Thursday evening of last week. TD, thoughts, predictions, overall preview of the Miami Dolphins and the Seattle Seahawks. Talk to us.
I'm not going to be long. The reason why, because I don't know what to expect in this game.
Oh,
you
wow.
know,
Some real TD.
We don't know what we're going to get. We don't know if Skylar's going to rise to the occasion or if he's going to fold, because Skylar does have potential. He actually has some skill. It's just a matter of, can he put it all together, and will he take advantage of this opportunity that he's been given again? They asked him about him getting a second opportunity to show his skills, and he almost choked up and cried today because he knows this is it. I got to show the world that I'm worthy to be an NFL quarterback, because I don't want to just be a backup. And I'm behind my guy, man, and I think he's about to ball out, but we don't know. I mean, we're not going to sit here and act like Seattle doesn't have a good secondary. We're not going to act like they don't have a great receiving core. You know, so at the end of the day, we got our hands full on both sides of the ball, stopping their receivers and trying to get our receivers off. So knowing that they got a good secondary, you know, Skylar's going to have a tough day trying to find Tyreek Waddle, because we ain't got no other receivers. Everybody else ain't no good. I mean, we're all these injuries on our roster. All of our receiver depth is rotten. We had to bring in Roby Chosen, and we done cut him yesterday. Less than a week after we brought him in, and he played in the game. That's how banged up we are with the wide receivers. So it's Tyreek and Waddle, and after that is like, who knows? So Skylar's got a tall task, but one thing I like is the fact that we got A-Chain running at a high level, catching the ball at a high level, making plays all over the field, proving that he's way better of a back than Breece Hall, all that good stuff, man. So at the end of the day, I don't know what to expect, but I am optimistic that Skylar is going to shock the world. And if he does and plays well and beats Seattle, boy, oh boy, Super Bowl is back in Miami, baby. Y'all already know.
So wait, is this in Seattle or in Miami?
In Seattle, on the road.
That's a hard place to play, man.
Yeah.
That's a very hard place to play. So I look at this game right now, and I mean, I'm trying to put together a plan for the Miami Dolphins to come out with the victory. So as TD did allude to, this team is very efficient, especially in the secondary by itself. They're only allowing 128.5 pass yards per game. Granted, all right, I mean, it's only been 2 weeks within the league so far by itself, but that's still very, very impressive. Like, they are top 10 in just about every single category when it comes into passing defense, secondary metrics, you name it. However, if you do want to take full advantage of them and get the game going, which I would imagine this is Miami's game plan already, especially with how Achane has been performing for the past couple of weeks, is to run the damn ball, dude. Like, they are allowing over 142 yards on the ground per game through 2 weeks. So, dude, feed Achane. Like, do exactly what you can, because you can run against this football team. As far as this overall Seattle Seahawks offense, probably not Kenneth Walker. He's probably not going to be out there. He's still suffering with that oblique injury. He has not practiced today. Even if he is out there, I don't really see him being much of a factor. He will likely be on a pitch count. And Charbonnet, no one's really scared of this guy. So their rushing attack certainly has taken a hit while Kenneth Walker has been out. Definitely have to worry about Geno Smith in that pass attack. We've said this a million times already, that they arguably have the best wide receiver trio in the league, especially with Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, and then also JSN. And I mean, hell, have to give credit where credit is due. With Geno Smith right now, he is completing around 74% of his overall passes. So he's certainly been on one. I think y'all need huge games from your corners, man. I really feel like Jalen Ramsey needs to go on ahead and prove that he deserved that new contract that you just gave him. It's going to be tough.
I'm worried about our secondary in this game, Dan.
What's that you said?
I'm worried about our secondary in this game.
Yeah. I mean, as you should. I mean, I feel like any team that's playing the Seattle Seahawks should be worried about their secondary against that wide receiver trio. I really should, especially since Geno is also known to be mobile. I'll tell you what. if this game was in Miami, I probably would have picked the Miami Dolphins to win this game, but Seattle is arguably one of the most difficult places to play in this league, hands down, bar none. So with that, I think it's going to be close, but give me the Seattle Seahawks 27. Give me the Miami Dolphins 24.
Man, that'll be a tough loss too.
Yeah.
And I didn't even get my score prediction. I got Miami 24-20.
What you got, Colby?
Look, I would love for y'all to honestly get this win just for Tua. And honestly, I wonder if that is like a thought in these players' minds. Like, man, our guy just went down. Everybody's doubting us, using that as motivation. See, I'm not a Dolphins fan, so I don't know. I don't know what the talk has been behind town. Maybe they use this as motivation. And if they do, I think that is a statement until Tua gets back. And honestly, if Tua does come back this season, I think if they're able to use this as motivation and carry that until he comes back, they are going to be freaking fired up all season long when it matters most. And I think that could definitely help carry this Dolphins team. But it all comes down to, are they going to use this as motivation or not? And right now, like, again, I don't know. We're not going to know until they ultimately play this game. And I just don't believe in Skylar Thompson. Now, Skylar Thompson has a good team around him. He has a top 10 offensive line, top 10, top 15 offensive line, according to PFF. So obviously it's a good enough offensive line to keep him protected. I don't expect big plays down the field. I think that this is going to be a lot of short, intermediate passes, a lot of screen passes, get your guys into the open field. Devon A-Chain, big game with his track speed. Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Don't ask Skylar Thompson to do a whole lot. Basically say, hey, make your short, simple, short to intermediate route dump offs, and then just with your speed, get those big gains like that. You know, with Tua, he's launching the ball down the field, and that's how you're getting these splash plays. I don't think that that's how you want Skylar Thompson to come in and run this team, and I wouldn't have faith in him being able to do that. The Seattle Seahawks team, though, dude, they are freaking legit. I mean, talk about one heck of a rough matchup. If it was just even a team that's 1-1 right now, I probably would have picked the Miami Dolphins just because of that momentum and that motivation you guys have. But losing your starting quarterback is a real thing. You're going up against the number one secondary in the NFL, and they have a crazy, crazy pass rush too. McDonald has been dominant on the offensive and especially the defensive side of the football. And at the end of the day, I think I just have to take the Seahawks here. I mean, they're at home too. And I just think the backs are against the wall for Miami right now. And how are they going to handle this adversity? I think this is going to be a true test for what to expect from the Miami Dolphins for the rest of the season. But I have to take the better team right now. And I am going to go, I'm sorry, TD, I'm sending you love. I'm going to check up on you after this game. But I am going Seahawks 27-17.
You ain't got to check up on me. We're going to get the
I'm going to check up on you, bro, because I love
27-17. Colby with the Seahawks coming out on top. Richie, Seattle Seahawks, and the Skylar Thompson-led Miami Dolphins. What do you got on this one?
I mean, is there much to say? They're the Dolphins. Like, what are we even talking about? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, listen, man. With or without Tua, they're losing this game. Okay? That's number one. Going into Seattle, that talk about a home field advantage. Seahawks have one of the best home field advantages in football. And you got to go all the way there. Skylar Thompson has to go into that hostile environment. Bro, you're lucky. I think you guys are lucky Tua doesn't have to go into this game because, you know, we would have to hear more, you know, upset Dolphins fans that Tua is the one that's struggling. But now you got Skylar Thompson out there that gets to struggle. I mean, listen, man. CD can come on here and try to like sell his like it's like hilarious. It's like how
Skylar on the road in Buffalo in a playoff game, hostile environment, and went toe to toe with Josh Allen.
Oh, he's hyping up a playoff loss. I mean, playoff losses has been haunting the Dolphins for 24 years, folks, and we got TD highlighting a loss that his quarterback played in. Congratulations on that. I mean, come on now. Let's be honest with ourselves. This Seattle Seahawks team is legit. Geno Smith is better than Tua, and I'm upset Tua's not playing this game because Geno Smith would have out there and proved it on the football field. Let's be honest with ourselves with that, okay? And Geno Smith is going to go out there and smoke that defense that cannot contain Josh Allen, James Cook. You better hope Kenneth Walker is down in this game because Kenneth Walker not being in that game against the Patriots was a big benefit towards the Patriots. You know, the Patriots are, you know, happy to shut down the run. Let's not forget, they did not have Kenneth Walker, who is one of the most dynamic backs in the league. He went out there week 1 for Seattle and put up like 100+ yards and a touchdown. So he was not playing in that game. So you better hope he's not playing in this one, because Kenneth Walker is a wrecking ball, and he is an explosive playmaker, and you better hope he's not playing, because if he is, he's going to be a nightmare to deal with, on top of having to deal with DK Metcalf and JSN. I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. DK Metcalf's about to go crazy with this Jalen Ramsey guy who's out there getting smoked every single time I watch Dolphins games. I mean, I'm just not being a hater. This is what I'm watching. I went into that Dolphins-Bills game. All right, Dolphins, let's see what you got against the division rival. Like, you're trying to become and dethrone these Bills. I mean, they got bounced. It didn't belong. It's like the Buffalo Bills roster is just miles better than the Miami Dolphins. I don't care if you look at paper, Pro Bowl, All-Pro, doesn't matter. They're the better football team, and so are the Seattle Seahawks. And the fact they have to go on the road into Seattle, that is a big difference in this game, man. I mean, listen, upsets happen, right? The Dolphins go in there. The NFL's weird. It's a week-by-week league. What happened last week does not mean it's going to happen this next week coming up, which is like why I don't really look at stats as much, because just because the stats were happening in that game does not mean it's going to be replicated this next coming game. So you have a chance for an upset. I'm actually curious what the odds are on this game. Does anybody know? Did we check? I'll check right now, because I have no idea how much they're favoriting the Seahawks, because they're the obvious favorites in this one. 4.5 points. So they're the 4.5-point favorites at home. I think, yeah, they're the 4.5-point favorites at home. And listen, I think
that's
that
not
the Seahawks,
conservative.
Yeah, that is conservative.
No, they know what time. They know what's about to happen, Dan.
Yeah, that's
because they know what's about to happen.
Yeah, they know what's going to happen.
So I pointed out, Richie, I said that's probably one of is the most hostile environments to play in, like in the NFL.
That's what I said.
And so I told TD, I said that maybe, like, say it was in Miami, like I could lean toward, like, Dan, maybe the Dolphins making it happen. But
why do you think they
Seattle,
put it at 4.5?
Yeah, why do you think shot in the gun range for this one, man?
No, why do you think they put it at 4.5? With a backup quarterback, Dan, they know what's about to happen.
I don't know, man.
You get 3 points at home.
Why do they put the Jets at 6 points?
I mean, are y'all on the road?
No, we're 6-point favorites at home.
At home.
Yeah, that's my point. If they,
but do you see how they put the Dolphins closer? I mean, one would think y'all got a better chance of beating the Patriots than we have in Seattle, but ours is a little closer. They know. I'm telling you, this is that game.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm just being honest. Like, how do I say this without sounding like I watched the Dolphins play this season, and there's nothing that I see from this team that is like good. Like, what makes the Dolphins great is their offense. Their offense. With Tua Tagovailoa, their offense is game-wrecking. Tyreek Hill, explosives. I mean, you got Mostert injured, A-Chain stepping up to the plate that I expected. You got Jalen Waddle. But, like, now this offense was supposed to be your weapon, and they're not good under Tua. So their offensive line was negated in the offseason. I told you guys about that all offseason. Like, yeah, congrats. You extended Tyreek. You extended Ramsey. Where's the offensive line? That's important. You don't protect. You don't run the ball well. So I think that the Dolphins are going to be able to go into this defense against the Seattle Seahawks with dogs over there. Seattle Seahawks are winning this game. I may even pick them in my survival pool. I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. Like, the Dolphins are the Dolphins. Let's be honest with ourselves. Who the heck is going to pick the Dolphins in this game? And if they go out there and they pull off a win and Skylar Thompson has the game of his life, I'll be over here eating my crow. I'm not afraid to be wrong. I'm not afraid to be wrong.
Survivor pick of the week, baby. Seattle Seahawks. Survivor pick of the week.
All right.
Oh, man. All right, listen. So we're going to briefly transition over to the Buffalo Bills and the Jaguars. My full preview and our full conversation is obviously going to be on our Monday show on the Autograph app, folks. If you're just coming in, our new show on Monday, which is SmackDown, is exclusively on the Autograph app. This is an awesome opportunity for our company. Without Autograph, we would not be able to have all of these other roundtables across the network. So shout out to them. So certainly download the Autograph app. Link is in bio. And stay tuned for that Monday night show, baby. I'm going to keep this really, really brief because I don't want to tease too much. If anybody's interested, I did end up dropping a full-scale preview and prediction on my YouTube channel. Certainly go on ahead and check that out and troll me if you want to, or say what's up. But So I look at this Jacksonville Jaguars team, right? And they have been a thorn in our side for quite some time. The one thing that makes me feel confident is that we haven't played them in Highmark Stadium since 2018. And the last time that we played them in 2018, we ended up winning, which is ideal. This Jaguars team is simply just not the same, folks. It's really, really not. I mean, you have a Trevor Lawrence completing 51% of his passes. His offensive line has given up 14 pressures and 7 sacks by itself. He's a statue behind that line. So many mismatches from the Buffalo Bills pass rush. Von Miller is currently 7th in the league as far as total pressure so far. Have no idea how a 35-year-old on the 3rd year of his third big contract is finally starting to step up. But some of those matchups in the trenches is going to give Trevor a significantly difficult time. They run the ball effectively, but for some reason, they do not utilize play action. This is one of the teams in the NFL where you have Trevor Lawrence be so effective with play action. They never run it. He's only had 14 attempts in play action by itself from the offense. Run defense, I can imagine that ETN by himself and then also Tank Bigsby is going to get theirs. Likely what we did with the Dolphins. We ended up letting them run against us and letting our secondary do what they could. Christian Benford is going to be up against the rookie. He is currently the highest graded cornerback in the league. He is the best cornerback in the National Football League throughout 2 weeks of football. So I love the matchup there. Gabe Davis, we already know who he is. Not so fast, dropping issues. I trust Rasul Douglas. Bernard, Taron Johnson are still going to be down, but I trust this defense, and I trust it because of our pass rush and with all the question marks they have at that offensive line. Not necessarily scared of this Jacksonville Jaguars offensive attack scoring many points, especially in Buffalo. As far as the Jacksonville Jaguars defense, this is going to be different. Don't expect a game like Miami, where this was a James Cook game and where this was a Ray Davis game. I foresee this Buffalo Bills team struggling establishing the run against this team. What the Buffalo Bills need to do is they need to win with Josh Allen. They need to win with the pass game. It's not going to be another 140, 150-yard pass game out of Josh today. It's likely going to be a 25 to 26 pass attempt, 290, 300-plus yards. So many question marks with their secondary. They ended up having their best slot corner, best defensive player on that team outside of Joshua Hines-Allen, is out on the IR. So I imagine that Josh is going to be picking on the perimeter corners. Same thing with the middle. Don't sleep on the front seven. They're going to get some pass rush. Josh has struggled against his pass rush in the past. However, I do see the Buffalo Bills walking away with this victory right now. Give me Buffalo Bills 3rd consecutive week, scoring over 30 points. Give me 31-21 Buffalo Bills. And Josh Allen throws for over 300 yards and 3 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown. He's going to add 4. And again, 3rd week in a row, no interceptions.
3rd week in a row.
3rd week in a row, man. Listen, I told everybody. I said this. I said Josh will not throw his first interception until week 4 against the Baltimore Ravens.
So I just got tagged in a tweet. At NY Jets Media, how do you do this roundtable? TD is such a loser.
Did you see my response? Yeah, I put that up. How about that?
What is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at this.
With a broom.
Gloating a broom when he's about to get swept for the 2nd consecutive season by the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah. Now, worry about yourself, Richie. Worry about your Jets.
Worry about yourself, baby.
Now, Dan, you guys
That's
play
hilarious.
Monday, you said?
Yeah, we play Monday Night Football.
So this is basically like a short bye week for you guys.
Yeah, it's nice, man, especially since there's still some question marks about Josh Allen's hand. I haven't heard anything specifically, whether or not he's still going to be wearing the glove. But make no mistake, man, this is going to have to be a Josh Allen game because I really don't see us being successful with the run game this week, especially against the Jags, because they're actually very good at stopping the run and bottling it up.
So we're going to break this down on SmackDown on Monday anyway, right?
Yeah, most definitely. So, worst case scenario, if we just want to go on ahead and bring on in the Patreon guys, or if you guys...
All I'm going to say about this game real quick, I'm not going to go deep into it, but
go ahead.
Watch out. They're a desperate 0-2 team. And
they are.
last thing I checked, Jaguars kind of they gotta beat you guys when no one expects them to sometimes. No.
No. They do, man, and that's true. And trust me, that is in the back of my head. But let me tell you what, as far as a desperate team that I am concerned about, I would much rather play the 0-2 Jaguars at home than I would want to play the Baltimore Ravens 0-3 going into Baltimore on week 4. So,
I mean, that's a loss either way.
I'm crossing my fingers. I'm crossing my fingers that Baltimore can beat Dallas, and Dallas doesn't pull a Dallas, and Dallas doesn't pull a Dallas and just like win in a blowout fashion.
That's gonna be a great game. Cowboys, Ravens.
That's backs against the wall. And 0-3. That's my biggest concern going into it. But
now, Dan, you should win this game too, because really, like, I understand y'all are on the road, but at the end of the day, you have the advantage of having the extra rest. You have the advantage of having kind of that extra time to have a game plan and be able to implement that game plan. So at the end of the day, you got to take a team that is won undefeated against the team that hasn't won a single game. You guys have clearly looked better, and you've had the extra time compared to the Jags. This isn't even a thought. Like, the Bills are winning this game.
Yeah. Like, I mean, what's encouraging from my end is that like this Bills team has always had the narrative, right? Where like we drop these games that we're not supposed to, or like we just show up flat. Since Joe Brady has taken over for offensive coordinator, there has not been a game where the Buffalo Bills showed out flat offensively at all, or even defensively for the most part. Like, I have not seen a flat game from the Buffalo Bills since Ken Dorsey was shipped off to Cleveland. So, good thing. Let's hope that this random shitty Bills performance, twice or 3 times a year is far behind us and we go out there. But, I mean, listen, when this Buffalo Bills team is playing at full capacity, there is not a team that I fear. So, let's see.
Dan, I'm happy for you, bro. I'm happy for you. You know why? Because you guys went through so much adversity this offseason, like I mentioned. Yeah. And even I had my doubts about your team. I thought y'all would still be good, better than most people thought y'all would. But I didn't even think y'all were going to be as good as you've been. And you know what? I love underdogs who prove people wrong. And that despite all your losses, Josh Allen's able to put the team on his back, because that's what great elite top-tier quarterbacks in the NFL do, and continue to win. I am happy for you. You deserve this. And I'm happy for Bills fans too.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. What you got, Richie?
Yeah, they deserve this so much.
What you got, bro?
Richie just doesn't want to see y'all in first place no more. He's already done.
Yeah, you guys deserve it. Bills Mafia deserves it. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's one of those games where it's the Bills are the favorites. They should win this game. They're the better team. The Jaguars have definitely just laid an egg this season. They just don't look good. I think they have talent. I really like Brian Thomas Jr., but
he popped off last week too.
Yeah, Evan Ingram, what's going on?
Oh yeah, he's gonna be gone. He's not expected to play.
Yeah, I mean, he's my fantasy tight end. He pulled his hamstring pregame warmups last week, and I had him put up a freaking donut and play for me. I was like, bro, I drafted you in fantasy for what?
Yeah, I forgot to mention
what, dude? No way.
So Evan Ingram's not going to play, and he was not being utilized in week 1, so I don't know what's going on. Like, the Jaguars got talent. They got a good front seven, and it really just comes down to Trevor Lawrence, because he's, not playing good football by any stretch. He went up against a tough Browns defense in week 2, and he looked decent in week 1. Not great, but he looked good enough, but then he wasn't able to get over the hump in the clutch to win them that football game. So this got to be Trevor Lawrence's best game of his career, to really kind of on prime time in Buffalo, hostile environment. I'm not really expecting the Jaguars to pull off this game. I got the Bills winning, but you never know. This is one of those trap games where Bills easy win, and then all of a sudden the Jaguars win. We're like, what? I mean, who the heck predicted the Raiders to beat the Ravens? Someone raise their hand.
That, right? Dude, it's that O-line. I'm telling you, that O-line is the Achilles heel for a team that wants to run the football.
And we stole
it. It's been a weird.
You can't pass the ball. You need to run it. And if you're going to run the ball, you need good blockers. That's just common sense. And they literally just said F our offensive line.
Ravens?
What are we doing? Yeah, what are we doing?
Well, we stole their offensive line.
And that's why it's top 10. And that's why it's top 10. But that's
stole you. We're the new Ravens.
That's the thing that's wild too, though, is you should have went to the Super Bowl. You're a fumble from going away to the Super Bowl, and you just lose your team. Beats me, bro.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'll take John Simpson. I'll take Morgan Moses. So thank you very much, Baltimore. But hey, I still think they'll be all right.